too, they look like bridesmaids. And they all gang, so don't be talking sideways. Salty, they sodium, they jelly, petroleum. Always talking in the background, don't never come to the podium. Chef Cardi B, I'm up, I see you at the again. While you was sleeping on me, I make 40 bands by 4 p.m. Baby, take it. Everything you want, I'm like a walking. I don't understand what this hate is about. How you go your man with my name in your mouth? I do the Maybach on Monday, for Friday. This is sweet Saturday, that's just what I say. I say, babe, it's a. He said it's a. Them pretty, you look like me. On my Versace driveway, looking like money bag, 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 money bag. With me pretty too, they look like bridesmaids, and they all gang, so don't be talking sideways, sideways, sideways.
Look at you go. Okay, you better. Look. Go. Go. Look at you go. Okay, you better. Look. Yeah.
Hey everybody, it's the coach. This is a special edition of Wild Card Weekend on EA Sports. Up next, we've got what should be in it.
All right, Coach, EA Sports coverage of the NFL brings us to the Sunshine State in TIAA Bank Field here in Jacksonville. Straight ahead, we pull the curtain on the postseason with an AFC wild card. And the Jacksonville Jaguars. This is taken at the 3. And he'll get across the 20 before he's brought down at about the 23-yard line. A first carry now for Nick Chubb. And he'll take this one up close to the 25-yard line. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be second down.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, this big defensive lineman will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
That's out to Chubb, complete. And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. A good play there as the Browns strike for 16 and a first down.
And this is why trying to cover the angle route is so difficult. Anyone playing the linebacker position, when they see a running back out of the backfield widen because he heads towards the flat first, oftentimes you widen too much and overcommit. He cuts up inside.
Look at the big man rumble past the 20. And all the way in. Touchdown, Cleveland. Vance McDonald, 59 yards. And the Browns have taken the early lead. So, wow. I mean, that'll quiet this crowd, right? A big one there on the opening drive of the game.
Yeah, you have to be thinking, we're at home for the playoffs. That had to be a splash of cold water right in their face, don't you think?
Yeah, they got to be thinking, we're going to have to work on this and do so in a hurry. And that'll carry over the back line of the end zone for a touchback. First carry for Christian McCaffrey. And he'll wind up with about 6, up past the 30 to the 31.
All right, Brad, I know we're in the early going here, but with those kind of runs, they're going to open up a world of opportunities for this offense going forward.
They'll come up now 2nd and 4 from the 31.
Detroit! Detroit! All right, here we go.
Back to throw. He'll drop it off to McCaffrey. And he'll be brought down shy of the 40 at the 38-yard line. It's a 7-yard gain there, and it's good enough to move the chains. Charles, what's the mindset here offensively? You gave up the touchdown pretty quickly. Would it have changed if you had gotten a stop and it would be 0-0 right now, or no?
I wouldn't think so. I think in most cases, just down a touchdown, you know, I mean, we're just getting started here. It should be a long way to go. You think to yourself, stick with the game plan, all the things you worked on in practice. But you have some teams that when they get down, their natural tendency is to aggressively strike back. And let's see if they want to get outside of the game plan we expect and try and be aggressive on their first series.
Out of the gun, they'll look to throw. He's going to hit his man out of the backfield, complete. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. A good pickup there at 22.
And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete.
Anytime a ball's thrown in the middle of the field and it's popped up in the air, I expect someone to catch. It doesn't matter whether it's offense or defense, because there's usually a great amount of bodies in that part of the field. In this case, no one came up with it.
And he'll get 3 down to the 34-yard line. Pretty good little two-play sequence there. You force the incompletion, then a very short pickup.
Yeah, now maybe you bring in an extra defensive back or two because you want to try and defend on third down. They like to play those nickel or sub packages, don't they?
He'll look to throw. That's complete to McCaffrey. First down, Jacksonville. The passing game looking sharp on this drive for the Jags.
I'm not sure that this play was designed for him specifically, but they got through the progressions and got the ball to him. So, second catch on the drive. He may not be a primary guy, but they definitely want him involved, don't they?
Absolutely. This early, the opening drive, as you said, 2 catches. So, if they can get him going in the passing game, it should open up his running game, too. Another big hitter there. This one good for 18. Quite the opening drive march they're on right now.
It looks a lot like what we saw in practice prior to the game, doesn't it? You know, because on that last big practice beforehand, you go through your offensive script, you go through your play calling, you go through all the stuff and establish things, and it looks like it's going like clockwork right now for them.
They'll try and run for it on first and goal. And that play going absolutely nowhere as he's belted before he could get out of the backfield.
I know when I was a kid, I always got real excited when I saw those lateral type runs. But the best backs that made it happen, they put a foot in the ground and just go. That didn't happen there. That play got swallowed up.
Eluding the pressure right. And he whips that one incomplete there.
They certainly thought they had him surrounded and probably thought they were going to get him on the ground and get the sack, but he was able to elude that. And even though it threw it incomplete downfield, if you're a defensive back, you're loving the pressure that you're seeing from your front.
Lucky 56. Lucky 56.
He'll look to throw. Rolling to his left. He may try and run. And they will score. It's a Jacksonville touchdown. It's their quarterback. A 5-yard touchdown run. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up. McManus's point after is good. And we are tied at 7. So we're right back where we started, all even as the kick's away. This will be taken in at the 1. And he'll be brought down at the 23, make it the 24-yard line. Now this offense ready to head back out there. They bring the 5 seed into the playoffs. Of course, they're one of the wild card teams. And when you're a wild card team, It makes it a little bit tougher. You have to win the extra game, but there's been a precedent set of teams doing that successfully in the past.
And it's usually teams that have aspects that really jump out at you and are really factors in the playoffs. I mean,
but when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off at the 11, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Trying to get it to Landry there. The Jaguars offense now heads back onto the field. The last possession, these guys were able to tie the game with a touchdown, and now they'll have a chance to move out in front.
Yeah, let's give a big assist to the defense who got the ball back. The special teams went out there, handled things. They've got it. They've got momentum. I know they're eager to get out there and put it on display.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he's going to lose yardage here back to the 12-yard line.
I know that speed is the hallmark of today's NFL game, but the key to good rushing defense is still having your linebackers set the edge.
Hurry up, here we go.
The play-action fake. They'll look to throw. Flushed out right. And they will not get the connection there. It's incomplete.
You got to give some credit. They're able to hop up in the air and bat that one away. And that's frustrating for an offensive lineman because the only recourse is when he goes in the air to try and give him some type of a pop or a shove, hoping to bring his arms down.
They'll look to throw here. He can run for it, and he will. And he'll slide down to avoid the tackle. Decent gain on the scramble to 6, but now it's 4th.
Partner, he was going through his progressions. Not there, not there. After about the third one, he decided he better pull it down and run for it. And he slides down and avoids the hit for good measure.
Now Landry. It'll be a 39-yard punt. Give him a good 10 yards on the return. And the Browns will take over 1st and 10. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. And he'll need to find a way to shrug off the opening drive, if you can even call it a drive. One play and an interception, so he's got to forget that.
I know that in today's football, we have a good number of coaches who don't look at time of possession the way that the old school guys did. But there's still a place for it.
And it'll be intercepted. Vernon Hargraves with a pick.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
They'll come out throwing here to start the drive. Flush to his right. Finding his safety valve here. That's complete. And he's able to get up here to the 26. It's a gain of 6 on the play, and it'll make it 2nd down.
All right, now look at 56.
Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. Wide open receiver complete. Give him 30 yards there.
Well, partner, I'm not sure how this drive's going to end, but how about the way they flip field position there? A nice attacking play that picked up a heck of a chunk of yardage.
So the big play gets him across midfield now for 1st and 10.
Here we go now. Boo, Landy.
Now on 1st down, he'll drop to throw it. Throwing for his running back, and he's got him complete. And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that'll bring up a 2nd and 11.
Well, that was a simple throw and catch, but even with that completion, 0 yards gained, so they're behind schedule on down and distance.
I think they were hoping to get it to him. He could make a man or two miss, but that window closed quickly. Now, meanwhile, here's a 2nd down throw that's knocked away and incomplete.
When you see passes knocked down by those guys I call the frustrated fullbacks, the linebackers, you know that in their zone coverage, they were able to drop, see the ball thrown, and react to it very quickly.
On 3rd down, he'll drop to throw. Rush coming, and he's taken down.
We've watched this a long time, and I still don't believe we get it. 3rd and long, why are you calling play action?
Yeah, because they're not going to bite defensively, right?
No, not at all. I did have a coach explain to me years ago that for some teams, that's how they have to deal with pass protection and their line blocking. But to me, it seems silly.
Yeah, well, they're silly, and it leads to a play-action sack. That'll go in the books as just a 16-yard punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. They go back to the air here after the INT on the last drive. Oh, he's got a man wide open, complete. And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. 6 yards was the pickup on the last completion, so here's 2nd and 4.
All right, here we go.
Handoff comes to Chubb. And a good swarm to the football defensively as they get him down at about the 40. 2 yards on the carry there, and it's going to lead him to 3rd down.
But we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading the play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
They'll run for it. Here's Chubb. And now a fumble. The ball's out.
Wow, that ball gets knocked free, but a teammate comes along and scoops it up. It's almost like baseball. Guys at bat, people are on base in scoring position. One guy doesn't get him home. The next guy comes through and picks him up.
And avoids the turnover.
Here we go now. 3-19.
On 1st down, they'll run with Chubb. And he gets it inside the 35 and just shy of the 30. 15 more there, and they're on a roll. It's another 1st down.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
Set. Green 39.
And now we've got flags down. Looked like one of the Browns might have moved.
False start, offense.
And that'll set them back 5. The false start backs them up 5. 1st and 15.
Let's go. Green 30.
They'll try to throw here. Mayfield. Looking left side, and he's got a man. It's Shepard. And he's going to get this down near the 20-yard line. That's 30 yards now in the last 2 plays. Back-to-back 15-yarders, and they're rolling. Somebody missed an assignment. He was waving his arm saying, hey, I'm wide open. They found him.
You think? You think? I mean, he was so wide open. Did you see he was just windmilling like he was Don Quixote or somebody out there? And then they found him for a really nice gain.
Let's go.
Mayfield on 1st down. And his throw is incomplete. The Pro Bowler Odell Beckham, the intended receiver. And that'll bring up 2nd down.
And that's one he's got to be happy to have back. There wasn't a hole open in the zone.
You'd have to think on early downs like that 1st down there, need to be a little bit more careful.
Yeah, fortunately for him, got a couple more downs to play with.
This is the Oklahoma State alum, Chris Carson. And not even back to the line of scrimmage this time as they're on him quickly once more.
Anytime you call an inside running play, you just know there should be a lot of congestion there. You're counting on your offensive line to take control of the line of scrimmage. That didn't happen in this case, and that play got bottled up.
Hurry up, here we go.
3rd and long for Mayfield. And he finds Seals Jones complete. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
The goal for any offense versus a zone defense, find the holes where guys are available and put the ball on the receiver before any defender can step up and fill it.
They did it well there. Perfectly executed crossing route. They'll give it to Chubb. And he takes this one in for a Brown score. Nick Chubb punching it in from a yard away. And the Browns are able to cash in for 6.
I know we don't talk about it enough, but the intelligence level of the guys up front blocking, the offensive linemen, maybe the smartest guys in football overall. Add in a little bit of athleticism and a whole lot of toughness, you've got a lot to deal with, don't you?
That's why the guys in the backfield get them really nice Christmas gifts, right?
If they're smart, they do.
Extra point up and good by Crosby. And that makes the score 14-7. This is taken at the 3. And nothing but daylight ahead. And a penalty marker's down on the field. And they might be backing up a bit here to start the drive.
Illegal block in the back. Return team.
So that will push him back.
First down.
And now we know why he had a little extra space to run, don't we? An illegal block in the back. That penalty will move them back.
And they'll run it here. And not too much going there as he'll get it up to the 23-yard line. Emmanuel Ogbah there on the stop.
They'd love to just strike back with a touchdown right here, and if it's a long play, so be it. But the main goal, get a couple of first downs, run some plays, run some clock, allow their defense to get a chance to catch their breath, settle down, and relax a little bit after they just gave up a score.
And he rifles one incomplete.
The touch and time here critical for those types of throws. He put a lot of zip on that one. Needed just a little bit more finesse trying to get it to his back.
The Jaguars on third down. They've hit 2 for 4 thus far. This is 3rd and 9.
Here we go now.
Looking to throw. And he'll be hit as he releases it, and that'll fall incomplete.
Not only was the call spot on, how about the execution of that defense right there? The zone was absolutely locked up tight. He was trying to force it in there on third down.
But if there's a time to force it, he felt like he needed to make a play, right?
Yeah, exactly right. Third down, you got to try and find something.
The Browns offense heading back out to take possession, and they're hoping to redo their efforts in the last drive when they got into the end zone.
And just think of what it's like now on the sideline, because when you score a touchdown, you have to go over and look at the tablet and see what you did on the last drive. When you scored points, it's a whole lot better view than when you're trying to figure out how to fix things there.
Solid way to start the drive. 13 yards, picking up the first.
At this stage of the game, the run-pass numbers are a little bit out of whack because most of the yardage has come through the air. But in a sense, that just sets things up for big runs like that because the defense might be a little bit off balance. They pick up another first down with that run.
They run again on first down, Chubb. And credit the tackle to Taco Charlton with a stop.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down. A very solid gain on that play.
Green 39! Green 39!
Mayfield on play action. And incomplete there. A nice hit. Jars the ball free and brings up third down.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield as it turned out. Couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight. Unable to find anyone open.
On third down, Mayfield. Going up top. And for the third time here in this half, it's intercepted. Vernon Hargreaves with a pick. And he's going to take this one back to the 37-yard line.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is third down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
He'll come out throwing here on first down. Got to imagine the pass rush will be equally intense here on second down following the sack. It's 2nd and 18. Now a shotgun snap as they'll look to throw. Looking long for Westbrook. Oh, he dropped it. They were looking for him in the middle third. He couldn't catch it. Now third down. Fair to say, hasn't been his best game throwing the football, but also not getting a lot of help out there either.
Yeah, you nailed it pretty well, you know. He's got to throw it better. Got to get more help. Obviously one that should have been caught. They got to find a way to bring those two elements together so they can make some progress in this one.
His first catch of this wild card game, and it's good for a first down.
A lot of tight ends just use their size and their strength, try to occupy some space and kind of body people away and catch the football. But not this guy. He's a refined route runner. Makes me wonder if he took some dance classes in his background with his footwork.
And he'll lose yardage on the play back at the 45-yard line. That's going to go as a loss of 2, and it'll be second down.
Gone!
2 minutes to play here in the first half. The back with more AFC playoff action after this timeout. Coming up at the half, we remind you that we're going to do what we've done all year. We'll get you down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. Coach will have the lowdown of what's going on here in this wild card weekend as we begin the road to the upcoming Super Bowl. Back to throw here. Nowhere to escape, and he goes down. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this third and long play as we'll get a timeout. It's just their first, so they'll have 2 remaining here before we get to halftime. First and second down were a disaster. Both went backwards. Now it's 3rd and 18. They need something big. He'll drop to throw. He's going to run, but he's got a long way to go. Now the Browns will use the first of their 3 timeouts as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Jordan Berry now as he'll punt it away for the 4th time today. And that'll hit in the end zone. Much too much leg there. That'll be a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And following the interception, just any interception, are you a little bit more cautious when you start that next drive, or no, you just throw that out the window?
I think you are. I don't think that there's any way you can run back out there and go, totally didn't affect me. Let's just go ahead and be loose with the football again. You're going to take care of it, but you have to be careful about being too cautious because now you can't run any offense at all.
Still want to attack. We'll see how they attack them here.
Good route, good pickup for first down yardage, and that is a tough one to cover, the angle route, because a running back getting out of the backfield, if you're trying to cover that, especially if you're in the linebacker spot and you're seeing this play develop, he heads out towards the flat first, and that often gets you to overcommit running in that direction. Then he cuts back up inside you into the middle of the field. That's what we just saw there for a nice pickup.
That last catch short of the marker by just a yard leaves him with a very manageable 2nd and 1.
All right, here we go. 3-19.
Working out of the gun, Mayfield. He's going to loft one deep left side here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Ronnie Harrison. And his guys are going to get the football at the 23-yard line. We haven't even escaped the first half, and he's already thrown 4 picks.
And Brandon, back in the good old days, probably back before you were born, if your starter threw 4 in the first half, he might throw 8 or more for the game because they weren't going to pull him out. But nowadays, the patience level isn't quite there. He's going to have to make some real adjustments, or the backup may see some time.
Now, the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
But one thing that I've liked defensively is that they've shown him a lot of different looks here in the first half. They've come after him. They've sat back. I think that's what you need to do to keep an offense guessing.
And they certainly have kept them on their toes. That's why they haven't had much success on the scoreboard. And he's taken down. This will be a Brown sack. And now maybe they want some extra time to talk about this 3rd and long play as we'll get a timeout. As the stoppage will come with a little under a minute to go in this first half. These guys have punted 4 times already, and they're staring at a 5th, barring a conversion here on 3rd down. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. Escaping the pressure right. That one complete to D.D. Westbrook. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout as they get the stoppage with a little over 50 seconds to go in the first half. And he deserves a bronze leg as he gets this one away. And that hits at the 6 and carries into the end zone for a touchback. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And we'll see how this is played. Offensively, they've got the lead. Not a whole lot of time left. What do you think, Charles?
Well, it's tempting to try and add to your lead, but a mistake there, that could change things in a big way. I say go ahead, take the knee, get on out for the half.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. Give him 9 there on the first down completion.
Seeing that play and understand just how tough it is to cover tight ends, especially the ones running around the NFL nowadays, Makes me glad I didn't make it in that league. I would have had a really difficult time.
But now you get to sit up here with me.
Yeah, and that's fun, isn't it? And what a really nice game right there on first down for them. Brings up a nice second down for them.
They go with Chubb on second down. And he will perhaps get back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. And time has run out on this first half. So we're at halftime in this AFC wildcard matchup. Both teams trying to avoid being one and done in these playoffs as we start the second half of this AFC wildcard game. Out come the Jaguars now as they'll go on offense first here in this third quarter. These guys had to punt their last possession, and that's become too familiar of a refrain. Too many of these drives just wound up going nowhere.
But you know how in baseball, when the pitcher gets a base hit and he's on base, they bring his jacket out to him to keep him warm? A lot of times the punter goes to the sideline and puts on sweat.
And he'll be hit from behind and taken down.
Brandon, I think you understand the type of afternoon this offensive line is having. It is a long one for them. Long for you to spend it with me. Long for them trying to block those guys. They've given up a whole lot of sacks, and the speed and quickness of that defensive line is eating them alive.
They'll look to throw. Dancing to his left. And a big loss here as he's taken down.
Now that's the way to start the second half. Back-to-back sacks. Whatever the halftime speech was, I hope they recorded it.
After the sack, they'll come up now third and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
And he will take this up to about the 8-yard line. 3 yards won't be enough here as that'll bring up fourth down.
As much as I praise teams for being true to who they are, in this situation, I wonder if maybe they outguessed themselves a little bit. Third down seemed like an obvious passing situation. They chose to run it and didn't get anywhere close to the first down.
So possession goes over here on the punt. And possession will switch hands, first and 10. Mayfield going to lead the Browns up now, first and 10 at their own 46.
Let's go! Blue landed!
They start on the ground with Nick Chubb. And he'll fight his way forward to about the 48-yard line. Miles Jack there to make the tackle.
Well, that didn't appear to be a run blitz. He just darted in once he saw the run develop. That appeared to be a case of see ball, get ball.
All right, here we go. Green, 39!
Mayfield now on second down. He's got the hook up to Odell Beckham. First catch of this wild card game for a 1,000-yard receiver in the regular season. He's got a first down, too. And defensively, they were in zone coverage there. Do you have to be a little careful you're losing playing against a good quarterback like he is to not play too much zone?
Yeah, you have to be careful about how much time you're giving up. I think it's a good point you just brought up. So maybe if you still want to play zone, you go to a zone blitz scheme. And you can drop anyone out of your defensive front, defensive end, defensive tackle. It doesn't matter. You just exchange someone to bring more pressure towards the quarterback and still try and cover downfield.
Play fake. Mayfield to Shepard, complete over the middle. His second catch of this wild card game, and it goes for a first down.
I think it all came together there. In-breaking route, drove it with excellent pace. Money throw right there to move the sticks.
This quarterback now 10 of 16 throwing the football. It's first and 10.
Leopard! Set! Green, 39!
Mayfield looks to throw. Drops it off for Chubb. And he's brought down, but for a really nice stiff arm to create a little space.
It's funny, throughout the time that we've been together, when we talk with running backs about the ability to catch the ball, their eyes light up when they talk about open field and having one-on-one matchups, don't they?
Yeah, they do, and that's the reason why. What we just saw shedding. And now here's another interception. Picked up by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he's going to be brought down by the face mask. Here come the flags. This is going to get him a first down.
Defense.
So that flag will cost him 15.
And it doesn't matter anymore how you get the face mask. Any part of it, it's going to be 15 yards.
After the penalty, a fresh set of downs. It's 1st and 10. They'll set up a throw. Steps away to his left. From the left side, it's complete. And he'll be taken down, but not before they work it across midfield. So a 1st and 10 upcoming from Browns territory now at the 47. And on the ground they go with a running back. And he's going to take this across the 50 into Browns territory. The stop was made by Jannard Avery. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
A hit as he throws there, incomplete.
I think he had to unload that one before he wanted to. He was right up in his grill. I think he was a dentist there without a license, don't you?
Just not enough time for the play to develop. Just lucky it wasn't a fumble, really. So the failure to connect on 2nd down, that leaves them staring up here at a 3rd and 8. They'll drop the throw. Going deep downfield. Oh, man, it's caught inside the 10. And they move this all the way down to the 9. They're able to convert on 3rd down, and that sets up a 1st and goal.
There will always be a place for methodically marching the ball downfield. But when you can pick it up in big chunks and strike like that and have explosive plays, that's often the difference in winning and losing. Those types of plays that can knock a defense off balance, that'll drive a team towards a victory.
Give him 2 yards on that one. 2nd and goal now.
Sometimes with the running game, you've just got to stick with it. Look, it's the 3rd quarter, no time to panic. But that also doesn't mean you just do it the same way you've been doing it the entire ball game. Maybe change up some blocking assignments or run a few different plays, but stay with the overall essence of the running game. And a nice move will yield nothing as he's stopped behind the line. They'll wind up losing 3 yards here. And that'll make it 3rd and goal.
Watch it now, Barney, Barney. Hurry up, here we go.
He'll look to throw. And he will get this into the end zone for a Jaguar touchdown. George Kittle, a 9-yard touchdown grab. And the Jaguars are within an extra point of tying this one up.
The tight end position has always been dangerous, especially in the red zone, short field. But now even more so because these tight ends aren't necessarily the tight ends of old. They're the rocked-up wide receivers who have a little bit more speed. Way harder to cover than before.
And he will get into the end zone as they will indeed claim a 1-point lead. They didn't want the tie. They roll the dice and they take the lead.
That felt like a tone setter, didn't it? Forget tying the ball game and feeling like we're just hanging with you. We're going to go ahead and push it to a 1-point lead, and that just changes the complexion of the whole game.
And he's all the way up across the 40 and down at the 42-yard line. Great return.
That strong return has set them up nicely for this drive, and we all know the next score is going to have a major impact on this game.
Baker Mayfield leads the offense out for their next possession. He's hoping to channel his first half play. They had the lead at halftime, was playing well. Flip the script here in the third quarter a little bit.
I think he misses the Pee-wee days, you know, when you just got the orange slice at halftime, right? And remember, weren't any real adjustments then, right? You weren't looking at some tape, right? You weren't looking at...
And my goodness, another interception. Picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. short throw pick six right there, those linebackers. They love when those short throws come and those eyes get real wide, don't they?
How about the anticipation on the play? Reading, reacting, and then the ability to catch the football and take it in the opposite direction.
So they throw the pick six. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. This fielded at the 2. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. And now Cleveland geared up to take the field. And they gave up the pick six. And now they'll be looking to right the ship here. Now, as a quarterback, are you a little more cautious this go-around?
You should be, just because after what you gave up, but you can't be so cautious as to just really take things in, and now you're not going to play loose enough to give your team a chance to score. But you still have to be careful, because those defensive guys, I know the reputation defense guys can't catch. All evidence to the contrary on that last possession, though. Boy, he does it at a high level, doesn't he? Because when I watch him, I think of his vision. Straight ahead, peripheral, also has that sense of where holes are going to be before they actually open. I think that helps set him apart from many of the other backs in the league.
Running game working. They'll stick with it on first down. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. That's going to go as a loss of a yard, and it'll be second down.
Well, partner, I guess sometimes it's just a matter of philosophy. Some say run until they absolutely stop you, and others say, well, when you think they're about to stop you, fool them a little bit. I guess they should have tried to fool him on that play.
They'll run it now out of the gun. And he loses the football a second time. And the Jags grab it. And they will set up shop in enemy territory at the 42-yard line. So the defense there, opportunistic.
It's nice to give them credit, isn't it? Because so many times it's more a matter of what the offensive guy didn't do. He didn't secure the ball, didn't cover up. In this case, just give credit to where it belongs. Knocked it free and made a big play.
And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line. It's a loss of 2 there, bringing up second down.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
They're going to look to throw, eluding the pressure right. Incomplete, but a penalty flag is down in the backfield. Let's get the call.
Holding offense.
Well, there have been a ton of sacks. They were just trying to prevent another.
So what you're telling me is the conventional way has not really worked for them, huh?
Not at all.
Not at all. So he tries to grab him here, and they still get caught.
Let's go!
Now they'll throw here out of the gun. Looking long for Westbrook. Into heavy traffic, and it's intercepted. Picked off by the former first-round pick, Demarius Randall. They set themselves behind the chains, trying to get it all back in one play, and it backfired.
Didn't it feel like a pitcher working his way into a 3-0 count, right? You're behind. What do your coaches always tell you? Get it back one pitch at a time. In this case, they tried to get it back right away, and it didn't work out.
Hurry up, here we go. Green, 39.
They begin this drive with Chubb. And he will finally be taken down up at the 43. A big play that time out of Chubb. 43 yards on the ground. Trailing here in the third, and that run might just be the spark that this offense needs.
And don't you just get the sense that he's going around not just in the huddle, but looking over at the bench and saying, ball, give me the ball. Let me carry this thing home.
They go play action here on first down. And it pops free. The collision there jarred the ball loose and brings up second down.
Anytime a defense can sit back in a zone like that, it tends to create a lot of congestion in the middle of the field. Makes it very hard to slot one in.
Looked like I-4 at rush hour in your hometown of Orlando, Florida. An absolute mess. And he'll get this out past the 45 to the 47. Call it a gain of 4, and it'll leave him with a third down and 6 to go.
Well, if you're a football guy, that's a pretty run because everyone is in sync right there. Obviously, the guy carrying the ball, but how about the people up front? Leverage, athleticism, they created some nice space for him.
Throwing, Mayfield. And now here's another interception. picked off by the linebacker, Miles Jack. And the return comes to a halt right at the 44-yard line. And that gives him now 3 interceptions in the game.
Well, someone's locked into what they're trying to get done in the passing game. When was the last time we had someone get 3 in a contest?
2011, wasn't it? Kurt Coleman.
Oh, yeah, that's
then
right.
with the Eagles.
That's right. It's then with the Eagles, and I believe it's against Washington and Rex Grossman.
That's correct. He's got his man on the crossing route. And a nice gain of 21 yards. Right after the turnover, they come out throwing.
And that means it's a sudden change situation. We used to practice it on defense. Sudden change, get out there, stop the offense. But you typically run out there a little bit unsettled. I think that's why he came right out throwing.
Back now in Jacksonville. It's Jaguar football here, and they'll look to extend their lead as we begin quarter number 4. And they'll go ground game here with a tailback. And he'll get this down to about the 30, 31-yard line. 3 yards on the pickup there, and it'll be second down. Offensively with the lead, you want to run the ball, keep the clock going, but you also want to still kind of be in attack mode too, right? So how do you do that and not come back on your heels?
Think about all the practices we've watched where they have that tempo period to go over things just like this, where they describe the scenario, tell you what they're looking for, and make sure that they're still... attacking, yet at the same time not going so fast as to leave too much time on the clock.
Now a play fake here on first down. And he'll dump this off to his running back, McCaffrey. And he'll go down here at the 12-yard line. It's another 10 yards on that one and another first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect them to run the ball in this situation, Brandon, but with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
And he's brought down just outside of the 10 at the 11. Only a gain of a yard there, but it indeed gets him a new set of downs.
Well, it is our business to analyze what we saw out there, and on that play, I saw a defense staying in base, not taking a chance, not blitzing, in a situation where they absolutely need the football back. That's either a case of overthinking it or not thinking it through.
If you do blitz, do you have to be careful about where you're coming from, or are you just coming from all angles?
You have to be careful about where you're coming from, obviously, but at this stage, you have to take a few chances as well. I know most of the time when the ball's in the air, you're thinking wide receiver, tight end, but running backs, they can be a big part of any passing offense nowadays.
His pass caught at the 4. And he takes it in. Touchdown, Jacksonville. George Kittle, a beast in the red zone with his second touchdown of the game. And the Jaguars add on to their lead.
In order to lead in a game, you're going to get plenty of contributors, but that's his second touchdown catch of this game. He's one of the key guys in this one.
And you better believe he'll be looking for the hat trick here as this one continues to go. And this will be a touchback as that sails over the end line. There's Baker Mayfield as he and the Browns offense comes back out. With his guys trailing here in the 4th, he can ill afford a repeat of the interception that ended the last drive.
Yeah, you're 2 scores down. You take it upon yourself now to play perfect or near perfect football if you want to get your team back into the game. But it's also tough to do when you're trying to avoid errors, yet still play perfect football.
And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. 15 yards is the pickup there, and the drive starting very nicely. First down. At this stage, this drive's got to be touchdown or bust because you need 2 of them.
And if I'm the offensive play caller, I'm not just looking at my dagger plays downfield. I'm looking at some of my specials, something that can fool them and give you a big play now.
With a sense of urgency.
No doubt.
So that'll back him up 5. A false start backs him up 5. 1st and 15. From the gun, Mayfield. Throwing middle, but it's incomplete. The linebacker, Miles Jack, able to knock that one away.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. You're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And McDonald here over the middle. And they're going to have this across midfield and inside the 45. A good pickup there, a 22. You cannot write these guys off just yet, not with a quarterback like that under center.
You mean it actually crossed your mind with him running the team that you could actually maybe write this game off?
Not yet.
Not a chance. Not with him. We've seen it too many times.
And he's going to get this inside the 30. Another nice gain, 16 yards there and a first down again. Defensively here, you've got the cushion, but back-to-back pretty big pass plays there. Bend but don't break, but are they bending too much?
I think that they are. To me, it'd be like playing basketball, and you put up a token press. Make sure you get up there and make them eat up some time. Make it a little bit of resistance so they can't just run it right down your throat.
10 more there and another first down. Hard to believe his first catch of the game defensively. They bottled him up. That's why they're well on their way to victory.
Put your best cover guy on him and then change the coverages behind him throughout the game. Brackets, double, zone, man, you name it. Make sure he gets a lot of angles.
And able to break one tackle, but then quickly brought down. But a nice little gain. It's another 10 yards on that one. And another first down. They run it again with Chubb. And the stop will come inside the 5 at the 4. It's a 3-yard pickup, and that sets up a first and goal.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
From the shotgun, it's Mayfield. And nearly another interception. They've been around the ball all game. Down this close to the goal line, first down. Surprised that wasn't a run?
I am, and you know I'm old school. I want to run the ball on first down in this situation because second down, that gives me that option of running play action and maybe throwing it.
False start, offense.
And that'll be accepted, of course, and that moves them back 5. Things made a little more difficult after the false start as they try again on second and goal. Mayfield down. Nowhere to go here. He lost the football. Time for a break. We'll come back and see this one out after this. So the Browns in possession of the football here as we get you reset. They've got it 3rd and goal now as they try to punch in a late touchdown. Now Mayfield. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Derwin James with a pick, and a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. With that interception, he just set a record that nobody ever wants to set, and that's the most picks ever in an NFL game. 8.
The last time we saw 7, 2001, right?
Yeah.
He's with the Lions at that time. To get to 8. Are we sure he knows what color jerseys his team's wearing in this one?
I don't know. It has not been good.
Here we go now. Blue 90. Blue 90.
And now we won't see a play on first down. We're going to get a timeout instead, as they'll get a chance to talk it over after picking up the first down. And not totally home free yet, but it's looking good as they come up 1st and 10. Right back to him on first down. And he stopped immediately there. And now the Browns are going to take another timeout as they'll talk things over prior to this upcoming second down play. Another running situation on the doorstep as they come up 2nd and 10.
Back 99 Philly. Here we go.
That one looks like he'll throw here. Flushed out right. They'll get this over to Westbrook. It's complete. The Browns will quickly use their 3rd and final timeout. And they'll be disappointed to have to burn one there after giving up the first down. From the 34 now, here's 1st and 10. And they'll go with a ground attack here. And he'll be brought down just shy of the 45. A nice run there, 9 yards, and it'll be second down. Didn't get to the sticks, but that's an ideal carry there on first down, isn't it?
I mean, now you're 2nd and 1. Although, you know, in the NFL, even if he picked up the first down, I don't think it's a big difference because the clock doesn't stop.
Yeah, not like college.
Right. If it's college football, you want to 2nd and 1 is probably better than picking up the first down because in college football, the clock stops with every first down and actually aids the defense in that situation. And on this play, the read for the quarterback was the defensive end, and he was totally focused on the quarterback. He should have given it off inside to the running back. Instead, he kept it and ended up taking a loss on the play.
And he'll be stopped right at midfield. Call it a gain of 11 yards, and that should just about do it.
I definitely like the play call. You don't expect it on 3rd and 5, 3rd and 6, do you? You expect a pass play. Had a little courage there to call the run, and boy, they were successful.
And a wild card win moves them on to the divisional round.
Everyone plays all year long for the right to get into the tournament, as they like to call.